7th grade, Geography of World Regions, Unit 1, Lesson 4. Here we are at Rubicon, and you can see Unit 1, Lesson 4 starts with your Lesson 4 guide and then your do's to accomplish your knows and understands and the materials that you need to be successful. So here we can see in our Lesson 4 our lesson guide. In this lesson, we're going to analyze documents and gather evidence to support a statement or question. They're going to use the internet to find evidence to prove or disprove statements, and they're going to learn strategies to use when gathering evidence and practice those strategies with a variety of content. Okay, we have your I can statements, we have your key concepts, the skills that we're using, and you might want to see your teacher notes in this one. Go ahead and have some prove-it statements that you can hand to the students when they enter the room. I'm going to do 3. Students can use those 3, or you can modify that to your needs. And then for the gathering evidence using maps, you should print 8 color copies, which is 7 pages, and then laminate those for group use so that you can use them for years to come. So what are we doing in this unit? Activity 1, it's our hook. It's basically just a little prove-it game or activator of sorts. Just getting kids to prove things. So in the way this game works is that you give them a statement or a student makes a statement, and then you have to either prove or disprove it by finding 3 credible sites that help you prove or disprove it. Okay, so that is a lot of things going on in there. Not only are we, finding evidence, but we're finding credible sources, and students are, acclimating themselves with the idea of proving or disproving information. Activity 2 is our gathering evidence PowerPoint presentation. This is our content, and in this PowerPoint, we are basically instructing students on ways to gather information, cite their sources, and so on. Basically trying to be in line with what they're doing in their ELA classes and what they're going to need in college as they do research. Activity 3 is gathering information or evidence about Aiken. So in this activity, you can see that we've put some different graphics here. So here would be like a calendar. What can we gather? What evidence can we gather from this? Here we have a reading. What evidence can we gather from a reading? And then we have a temperature chart or graph. Okay, so just different resources to use to gather information, and all of those documents are about Aiken. If you live in a different town, please change those for places that apply to you. And then our next activity, gathering evidence using maps. Here we're going to use some maps from SCI Way. They have a really nice web page that allows you to do layovers, and you can see different parts added on top of maps. It's a really nice feature, and as we move through this year, I know we will learn more and more about that, because there are a lot of digital tools that we can be using and teaching our kids to use that do just that. So students are going to be gathering some evidence about South Carolina, looking to identify 3 elements that might help them better understand the state, the time period, the population, or any other aspect of South Carolina. All right, so here you can see this SCI. I've taken some maps from here. So you're going to take a look at the map, observe it, analyze it, and then what can you glean from this? What's something that you can tell about the state, the time period, the population, or other aspect of life in South Carolina? And so we have several pieces of evidence here for the students to do that with. Okay, so a variety of maps. Now, it's recommended that you print these maps in color, and so that you have them available for student use and for future use, so that you're not having to reprint these every year. All right, and then that brings us to our last activity, which is population trends with charts and maps. And here they're going to be analyzing some population data, and they're going to be looking for the changes over time. Like, what are they seeing? What's causing the changes? Based on the year, here's where we'd like to bring in some history, like what was going on during history that might cause these types of changes. And why do you see a positive growth in some years and a negative growth in others? All right, so that is here. So you'll see a variety of years and their population. So you can analyze the data. What do you notice from year to year? What could be causing the changes? And then we've also included a population map. A population map so that you can take a look at how it looks on the map. So several pieces of information to analyze as for what was going on with the population and the growth rate, and then think about what was going on in history. Okay, so this is population trends using charts and maps. This is Unit 1, Lesson 4, Geography of World Regions.